Hey gang, Christopher Matthew Spencer here. I am very proud to announce that the episode of BuzzFeed's Cocoa Butter Taste Wars that I appeared in has now received a total of 4.1 million views. It is among the foremost popular videos on the channel now. There's been some skeptics saying that they doubted that I actually made the food. So here in a second, I'll show you the videos that I took. I had a feeling somebody was going to say that. So I documented my work and kept video of the process. So I'll share that with you here in a minute. But a little bit about me, I was broke and homeless at 16. I moved to South Central LA as a kid. I ran away from home. And I learned how to barbecue. Really, my first experience with that was Herman Fairchild, a big man, big dark man, who came up in a pickup truck and offered to help me with plumbing. And I said, "Oh, great." And he said, "Well, I'm also a good barbecue guy." And he showed me how to barbecue, and I was very excited to learn it. And he gave me my first smoker, which was a steel drum split in half, and had the top would open with hinges, and you'd put your wood inside, and you'd smoke your ribs. So I also was the owner of a bakery business in the 90s, and my baked goods were savored by Academy Award winners, including Francis Ford Coppola himself. And shipments of my cookies went to his beautiful winery estate. And many other notable people have tried my baking. I also had the pleasure of owning a restaurant for several years. And so I have tremendous amount of respect for chefs. It's a hard job. My mother taught me everything I know about kitchen basics and home economics. So thank you very much. And here you go. Here's the proof. I hope you enjoy it. So it's kind of late in the day, but I'm going to smoke them anyway, because even if they end up being ready at 10 o'clock at night, it's okay. I'm up. I'll probably be watching a movie. And I also want some cherry wood flavor in my ribs to give it a unique flavor. Not your normal hickory, but cherry wood will give it something different. It's a little extra something that you won't notice on other barbecue joints. So you can use apple, cherry, or hickory. Each one has a different flavor profile. We don't want to overpower people with the flavor. So what I did was I made a snake. I've got a hole in the middle where I'm going to put a pan of water, and I made a snake so that I'm going to start the fire here. I'm going to use a charcoal starter, and then I'm going to allow it to burn slowly, and then we're going to add the chips towards the end here, so that it's not cooking wood the whole time. We want mostly slow burning charcoal to cook the meat slow and low. And then by the end, we want to have it start to get that flavor, but I don't want it to be overpowering with the cherry flavor. So I want to cook only about maybe 1/3 of it with the cherry. And then I'm going to go ahead and put a water pan in the middle, and I'm going to start my charcoal with a charcoal starter. I sped up the process by using my handy propane torch. The baked beans will be pinto beans. They're going to be from dry. They're going to taste better. You don't want to use canned beans. Not only are they more money, but they just don't have the same opportunity for a flavor profile. You can make these taste the way you want them, whereas canned beans already have seasoning, and I don't want that. So I've got the beans were soaked overnight. I put them in water, and then I soaked them overnight, and then I'm going to cook them for a secret amount of time, just for that absolute delicious tender, just till they're tender. And then we'll add the pork belly, and we'll add some seasoning and some other ingredients, usual stuff, apple cider vinegar, mustard, brown sugar, molasses, paprika, pepper, cayenne. Just the secret is always the ratios. It's never really a secret what you put in things. It's usually a secret what the proportions are. That's what the difference between different kinds of recipes is, the amounts that makes it amazing. So I've trimmed up the spare ribs. I like pork. I just love pork ribs. I trimmed them up. I left a little bit of fat on them, but I trimmed off the silver skin, and I cut most of the fat off, and I got rid of all of the fat on the back that I could. And then I've got a really wonderful rub I got a little magic seasoning. I just made this shake it in the bag to mix it up, but I have a magic, my magic rub, and I'm gonna put some of this on my ribs. About half of what's in this bag is for the ribs, and so this is a combination of many herbs and spices. This is mostly, your usual stuff: salt, garlic, pepper, and paprika, and chili powder, and things like that. Not giving away the ratios, though. There's no real secret to the ingredients that go into a rub. What's secret is how much of everything do we put on the meat, and what percentages we put on, and we're gonna massage it into. Gonna give it a good massage. Oh yeah. I really love showing off my cooking skills, and I'm really grateful for the opportunity to do that. So that's it. We're gonna leave it, let it sit in there. So I let the rub set. I also put the rub on the pork belly, and I'm gonna let it set for, I usually let it set for about half an hour, and it's ready to smoke now. I'm gonna vent it 100% so that it starts to get warm inside. I'm gonna control the temperature, not from the exit vent, but from the inlet vent, so the oxygen control will be here. I'll use something metallic, and I'm gonna use my tongs to keep my fingers from getting burned. And I had to babysit this quite often, every hour or so, adding more charcoal and adding more cherry wood. And then eventually, after 8 hours, it was just amazing. So there you see, I really did make my own food. So if you had a doubt, now you know. Thanks for watching.